breaking the law, breaking the law. Why am I singing that? Because here there's more British steel on this motorcycle than in a Judas Priest album. Check out all this lot here. Da, 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 da. Loads and loads of welding has been done. There you go. This is the welding that I wanted to have done on the back of my bike on the KLE. It's because I don't want to cut the back end off completely. I want to have something behind me, something on the bike which will therefore allow me to carry luggage and will keep the worst of the rain and the spray off the back tyre from soaking me. So you may recall this picture which I've drawn. This is the plan with all these, I don't know if you can see, but I've drawn all these reference lines on it and everything else. This is how I want the bike to look in the end. And yesterday we spent 12 hours at my friend's workshop. He's got an amazing kitted out, fully zen motorcycle workshop where he works as a bike fixer and general custom bike builder. Well, 12 hours of cutting, grinding, filing and welding got us to this point here. Unfortunately, there is no such thing as a jig for making one of these things, and so we decided to just do it all by eye. There's a couple of areas where it's twisted a little bit. It's not exactly perfect. We're not talking exactly parallel lines and exact perfect right angles, but hell, this bike was built after the apocalypse. You know, it would have been built in backstreet conditions in substandard workshops, and they'll have done the best they can. If I was building a fancy chopper or Street Fighter, I'd do it differently, but hey, this is for the apocalypse. It just has to be strong, and I think you'll agree that this is strong. So this new tube here, this is it's either 2.5 or 3 mil wall thickness. It's fucking strong. It's way stronger than the original Kawasaki frame, and you can see at the back here, plated over the join here, so that's more of the 3 mil thick stuff. So yeah, this ain't going nowhere. I could tune the engine and start doing stunts and stand on the tailpiece like the stunt riders do. Well, maybe I couldn't quite do that. That might have been exaggerating it a bit. So this is the result of 12 hours work last night. We finished about 1 in the morning, and so yeah, there's a bit of polishing up of the welds to do, but towards the end, my friend did all the welding at the end. I started off doing some of it, but he's a far better welder than me, and we started running out of time, so he just did it. And yeah, he didn't have to grind it back and weld again, whereas I did. So yeah, I'm very pleased with how this looks. And what's more important is that this brings the project on quite a lot further. So now basically what I've got to do is put everything back together. So you can see all the electrical components are hanging loosely off. First thing to do is put the rear inner mudguard in. Also contains the battery, so I'll put that in, I'll reconnect everything, and I'll try and see if the thing will start. The engine's not run for about 6 weeks because the battery's been out all that time, and I'm concerned there might have been some of the wires into the ignition have broken. So the only way to find this out is put it back together, get it running. So that's the next task. And other news, I've painted this onto the tank. I've seen this this design before on a picture that I saw, and I thought, well, that's cool, I'm going to steal that for my bike. So because of this picture, the bike is now called the Scream. And to paint it, I don't know if you can see that, I stenciled it. So if it's good enough for Banksy, it's good enough for me. I cut these things out of, do you remember overhead projectors? They had acetates that you used to write on. So, there we go. Yeah, I cut these templates out of acetate and got some fancy glue from the art shop and spray painted it on. Between you and me and the entire internet, I did have to buy some very fine brushes, paint brushes from that art shop, and just go over some of the overspray, but I'm pretty much pleased with how that looks. does have that sort of crazed effect to it, so I'm not going to try fixing that. I'm hoping that the whole thing will fade and look a bit scruffy. Very post-apocalyptic looking, but there you go. Significant progress has been made. I'm now in the putting it back together stage rather than taking everything apart. So to kind of misquote Toe Cutter, this is a threshold moment and I've just passed through. So right, well, time to put it back together. See you later. Bye.